When millionaire industrialist Tony Stark, inventor extraordinaire, garbs himself in solar-charged steel mesh armor, he becomes the world's greatest human fighting machine. Iron Man and the Hulk have fought many times in the past, but never to a definitive conclusion. Never, that is, until now. For scant moments ago, on the smoke-clouded battlefield of Stark International Airport, Iron Man had focused every erg of his incomparable power towards slamming the dazed and disoriented Hulk deep into the tarmac and into unconsciousness. The price of that victory, however, is just now being realized. Hey, you guys in the bomb squad got a listener with you? You know, a gizmo to amplify the sounds of a bomb while you're defusing it? A bomb squad member hands Rhodey a device. Rhodey says thanks. The bomb squad member asks Rhodey, "You sure you know how to work one of these things?" Rhodey responds, "Friend, when you're trying to stay alive in the NAM, you learn how to work a lot of things. There, that oughta..." Iron Man says, "I can't hear anything from the outside. My armor's sealed tight and all systems have shut down. But if you can hear me, give a sign." Rhodey waves his hand at Iron Man as a signal. Iron Man then continues, "Apparently when I put everything I had into that one punch, I overloaded my circuitry, fusing my entire mobility network rigid." Iron Man continues to communicate through the device. "I can't move and my circuits aren't responding. I'm trapped inside my own armor. Meanwhile, we'd better see about getting me out of this fancy sardine can. I seem to have another little problem, like running out of air." We then see Stark being carried away to a nearby lab, while a furrow-browed employee hurries in yet a third. The scene shifts to none other than the Ant-Man. Scott Lang says to himself, "Tony Stark gave me, an ex-con, a break when I needed it, and now his main man needs a break." And though Scott Lang, modest electronics genius that I am, may not be able to help, I've a feeling that Ant-Man can. I've been working on improvements in my costume's design during lunch hours, and it looks like I'll get a chance to field test them sooner than I expected. First up, my new method to induce shrinking. I've relocated my primary shrink gas canisters from my belt to my helmet. Now all I have to do is trigger the gas release cybernetically, and we see Scott Lang shrink down to the size of an ant. In the advanced technical labs, the lab scientist says to Rhodey, "I'm sorry, Mr. Rhodes, but Tony Stark designed this armor to be impregnable by all known means. Perhaps with a few weeks' research." Rhodey responds, "We don't have weeks, Doc. The dude's air is running out. We gotta do something sooner." Then we hear a voice that interrupts the conversation. "Would immediately do, gentlemen. It's the Ant-Man." The people in the lab say, "Oh my word, a talking ant." Scott responds, "Actually, that's a talking Ant-Man. I was just in the neighborhood and thought I'd drop by to save the day." "Set me down on that big metal fella, okay, Emma?" Iron Man says. "I don't understand. I can hear Ant-Man, but how?" Ant-Man responds, "My helmet works cybernetically, Iron Man, just like your armor. The way I figure it, we must be on similar frequencies and one of your receiver circuits must still be working. The main thing is that I can't help you unless I get into your armor with you. I assure you my intentions are strictly honorable. And with your mask slit sealed, the only other openings, at least that we care to talk about, are your boot jets. Or maybe I'm just blowing it out my ear, who cares? So since I still have the strength of a normal-sized man, I'll just iris open this duct shield and hop." Ant-Man jumps inside the Iron Man suit. He says, "Sheesh, I haven't been inside anything this complex since I fixed my Betamax last week." "Okay, Iron Man, I'm internal. What now?" Iron Man responds, "You'll have to move forward, Ant-Man. Our best bet is to override the polarization controls in my neckband. That should shut down all power and allow my armor to slacken." "I know you're not Hank Pym, but..." Ant-Man replies, "Don't worry, big guy. I have a smattering of knowledge concerning gadgets. Electronique myself, for instance. This curving wall is obviously the seam between your boot and the rest of your armor, and by prying it apart, I should have easy access to the rest of..." Iron Man warns, "Wait, Ant-Man, you don't know about..." Suddenly, Ant-Man is hit by flame-retardant foam. The ducts got ruptured during the overload. Ant-Man responds by saying, "Terrific. So now I have to make like Charlie the tuna swimming through a river of scrubbing bubbles. And I always thought being a superhero would be glamorous." While on the outside, Beth rushes to the lab. "I heard what was happening on my car radio and rushed right over, Rhodey. How is he? Has there been any change?" Rhodey replies, "No, but hey, I thought you and Shellhead weren't exactly bosom buddies." Beth replies back, "Rhodey, Let's just say I've learned to be tolerant of something that's such a big part of Tony's life. Inside the Iron Man suit, Tony asks, "How's it going, Ant-Man?" Oh, we've got a problem. The entire passageway is blocked with red-hot slag. Ant-Man uses the frozen tubes of the suit's cooling system to ice up the slag and makes way through, breaking the ice. Ant-Man then reaches Iron Man's neckband, and as Iron Man is running out of air, connects two wires, yellow and green, to short circuit and release as per Iron Man's instructions. It takes but seconds for the stubborn plastic coating to be stripped, but in those same seconds the sounds of labored breathing fade into a barely audible hiss. And thus it is with hurried desperation that the tiny superhero raises two naked copper strands, and Ant-Man says, "Well, here goes nothing." But fortunately for a certain Golden Avenger, that nothing proves to be something indeed. Iron Man's suit jumpstarts and he awakens, while everyone asks Iron Man how he's feeling. Iron Man responds, "My eye and mouth slits opened automatically. When my armor depolarized, I think I'll be fine, thanks to a little help from a friend." Ant-Man adds, "Don't you mean thanks to help from a little friend, Iron Man?"